China is controversial in the West because it's so different from the Western countries in terms of political system and economic model, which actually makes China, to me, very chic today. After all, it's not China that's fallen into the financial crisis, but the United States and many Western countries. It's not the China model that's fallen out of favor, but the neoliberal model of the West. China is doing fine. It's already the world's largest economy, calculated in purchasing power parity with the world's largest middle class. The latest IPSOS Ipsos survey showed that 90% Chinese are reasonably satisfied with the track that China has followed, while it's 37% for the Americans and 11% for the French. Of course, China has its share of the problems, but its overall success is beyond doubt, and we are very proud of it. So the question is how China has made it. The answer is actually simple. 2 words, China model. What exactly it is, I will try to identify 4 features of this model for you here. First, its guiding philosophy is called seeking truth from facts, not from dogmas, whether from East or West. From examining the facts, the late leader Deng Xiaoping concluded then that neither the Soviet model nor the Western model really worked for a vast developing country desiring for modernization. Hence, Beijing decided to explore its own way of development, appropriate to China's own national conditions. Second, people's livelihood oriented. This is very important. Whether you conduct economic reform, social reform, or political reform in China, they must all be down to earth and produce tangible benefits to the Chinese people in material terms, in cultural terms, and in other terms. This is why China has succeeded in lifting over 700 million people out of poverty, accounting for nearly 80% global poverty eradication. This fact alone has changed China forever, and I think has changed the world forever. Third, a mixed economy. China has tried to combine the strengths of the invisible hand of the market force and visible hand of the state. China's economic system is thus called socialist market economy. When the market dynamism is released by China's gigantic economic change, the Chinese state has shown its competence in mapping out strategic plans, ensuring macro, political, and economic stability. China is proud that it can plan for the next decades and for the next generations, rather than only plan for the next 100 days as in the West. Fourth, gradual reform and trial and error approach. Given the size and complexity of the country, China has encouraged experiments of all sorts, as exemplified by China's special economic zones, where new ideas and practices are tested, such as land sale, 100% foreign-owned enterprises, high-tech joint ventures, creative startups, the list goes on. Only when new initiatives are shown to work, they are extended nationwide. In retrospect, thanks to this model, China has rejected both what I call democracy fundamentalism and the market fundamentalism, both advocated strongly by the West for so many years in the world. China rejects the so-called end of history thesis as advocated by Francis Fukuyama, the renowned Japanese-American political scientist. China has thus avoided many pitfalls, such as the financial crisis of 2008 and Soviet-style breakups, and the country has achieved its dramatic rise as we see today. Given all the crises faced by the West today, if some in the West still think the Western model is the best in the world, we will only say to him or to her, please stay with your model. We don't envy you, full stop.